friends, it's Sharon Luska here from My Crafty Greetings, and we're doing a Scrappy Tails video today. But have you ever had those dies that won't match up when you want to make a 3D project with them? Well, I'm going to show you how to fix that problem today, but I'm also going to show you this cool new release that Sabrina has, and this is the retro Christmas set. This is retro Christmas paper here, and there is a whole card kit that she has available. It is fabulous. The products are amazing. I'm loving it so much. And there's so much that you can make from it, from ornaments to tags to postcard cards. You got it. But the A7 tree silhouettes, I'm in love with this die set, and also the retro tree is something that I'm going to show you today. But I wanted to show you specifically, I'm using the back page of this paper pad. And you're kind of probably looking at it going, what are you doing, Sharon? Well, I've got some of my white scraps out here, and I wanted to show you, this is Nina Solar White. And this is a Recollections piece of paper, and you can see that it's a brighter white. Make sure that you go on a sunny day and sort your white papers if you have a few different kinds, or keep them in separate packaging, because mixing your whites can often mess up your composition. And sometimes I'll pull out different whites to make them look better. So I have cut a bunch of these gorgeous little retro trees. Love these so much. And I wanted to stack them together, but try as I might, I'm layering them together and I can still see little bits sticking out. They don't match perfectly, and that irritates me. And it doesn't irritate me with the die cut. It just irritates me with my frustration of how I think things should go together. So here's how we fix this. We're going to cut one piece the proper way, where you would put your colored side towards your die and cut it. Then you're going to put one piece of paper and do an upside down die cut. So where we're putting the back side of the paper towards the die. Once you do that, then they're going to match, and they'll match perfectly, just like that. So I wanted to make sure that you could see this, so that you could understand that as we add layers, using this principle is going to make sure that we can build ornaments from any die, no matter what shape it is. So here's our A7 tree silhouette, and of course, layering this one over top of the other, it doesn't match. It looks pretty, it makes a nice full tree, but the way I want to do it, it's not going to do it properly. So I have one cut the right way, and then one cut upside down or the wrong way. I'm going to take a second one that's cut upside down and the wrong way. And I'm putting the folds in these two guys because I would like those die cuts to be the less visible ones. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take them and layer them up over top of each other, but we're going to be folding them so we can add one more die cut to the back. So you can see though that they match up perfectly. So a little bit of ATG so that we can get this nice and sticky. And you can use whatever you like, but I'm going to say this, that a lot of times if you use wet adhesive, like your liquid glues, sometimes with foiled papers, it will cause the paper pulp to puff up and it'll make marks in the foil. So I always recommend using something like your ATG, your tape runner, something dry that's not going to have that happen. And it'll still stick together wonderfully, or you can use little tiny bits of wet glue if that's what you choose to do. So we've got one half of this coated well, and what we're going to do is tuck in any little hanging pieces of our ATG here, and then I've got my already attached flap folded out of the way, and I'm going to layer this piece directly over top of that back piece. And once we flip it open, then we can split these two pieces apart. Bada bing. Now, if you wanted to stick that directly to your card, it would still give it lovely dimension. But if we want to turn it into an ornament, we need to add one more front ways facing die cut. So see how that matches? That's a front ways facing die cut. And even though we go to the back, it matches all the pieces that you're trying to stick together. And this makes sure that we don't have any of that brown showing, that it's all that beautiful shimmery metallic green. So again, I'm going to add some more ATG all over the back of this folded section here of Christmas tree, making sure to cover everything well. And then I've almost forgotten one thing. I'm just going to set this in place and stick it on one side, and then I'm going to have to get myself something to hang the Christmas tree by. And here's another tip. If you're going to make an ornament, When you go to stick it in there, make sure that you loosen off that knot. A knot is going to help keep it from pulling through, but you want to make sure that it's not a tight knot, because a tight knot is going to show a lump. Whereas if you take a loose knot and you kind of spread it out, it's going to fit in that crack very, very nicely and not leave a big bump in your ornament, especially over foil, because you know foil always makes the bumps show way more. If you wanted to, you could reinforce the top with a tiny dot of liquid glue, and that would help hold things together. And then I only want to put a gentle bend in the front and back of this, so there is a firm fold in either side of the tree, but otherwise each face is going to stay mostly flat because I'm going to add a sentiment to it. If you've watched this far, there must be a reason. If you haven't subscribed to me, you better hit that subscribe button so that you can come and see the rest of my videos. So, this die cut also comes with little Christmas presents and layering pieces that go with them. We're not going to be using any of those presents though. And then it also comes with this fantastic die that has snow bits, which you can use these snow bits for all kinds of things, little houses, other trees that you have in your stash, whatever you like. So we're going to finish adding our sentiment onto this, and this We Wish You a Merry Christmas die is fabulous. Apparently it's only available if you purchase the entire kit, and the entire kit gives you all of the items with a 20% discount already. And it really is going to cover you with all your Christmas card making needs and lots of really great things that you can have in your stash. Now, one more thing about this particular die though. I cut these all out of wrapping paper. Would this not make the best possible tags for your Christmas gifts this year? I absolutely love this tree for that fact. And if you wanted to, you could layer them up to give them some extra, chutzpah when you're putting them on your Christmas presents and a little bit more detail. And when you flip them over, if you've used wrapping paper, I'll show you how to make a place that you can write on the back. The other thing too is you could also use these to make place settings by layering them up and giving them some extra dimension when you're putting them on your table. Aren't they cool? To stick this ornament to the front of your card, you can use up a couple rolled up glue boogers or some rolled up glue dots. I have a little sentiment in there with some sticky tape that says to remove your ornament. And there it is on the front of the card. Now it does have a sentiment on the opposite side too, just in white. And I've added that beautiful drippy snow to both sides with both of the sentiments. Absolutely gorgeous. Don't you think that drippy snow would work as chocolate or even melting color? So this sentiment that comes in the die kit is absolutely gorgeous. Don't forget though that you can cut it apart and make it just say Merry Christmas. I did that with one cut of my guillotine cutter. No problem to cut that apart. So I have the retro tree already cut and I wanted to use it to make some gorgeous trees. And these beautiful extra pieces are fabulous. They fit perfectly on the A7 silhouette trees, and I love the little light bulbs, but you can turn them around and use them as water splashes or raindrops, and I absolutely think they would be fantastic if you wanted to just take a rectangle and turn it into a decorated cake. So I have my little trees here, the retro trees, and I already let some Tombow Mono Multi dry on these. This allows me to put my bits on without any squish and make sure that I don't get any extra smudges on the foil. The other thing that I like is that you can take things back off if you haven't pushed them in place firmly. This would make it a cool kind of decorative piece for kids. And speaking of, here's my little monkey. Ziggy curled up on my lap and decided that he needed to be part of the video too. Hello, Ziggy. What a naughty puppy. As I'm putting my garland on the reverse die cut for the back of my ornament, I realized that it doesn't match up. I couldn't believe that I had forgotten about that. And I realized that the thing that I needed to do was go and cut some of the garland in reverse. But I thought I better check the star first and make sure that it didn't need to be also cut in reverse, and luckily it doesn't. And while I'm procrastinating adding the little light bulbs on the tree before I actually go and cut the proper garlands, I thought I better hit you up for a comment and a thumbs up so the algorithm shares this silly video to just about everybody who wants to watch how I make trees. So here's my piece cut. We cut directly into the back of the paper, and there's the front of the paper with the beautiful sparkles, and I'm going to pop that gently out, no problem, and then I can stick them on my tree. and at long last, they match. So it's a worthwhile thing before you stick them on is to make sure whether you need to have them cut in reverse or not to match the back of the tree if you want to use this technique to make sure that you have everything matchy-matchy. Now, I did do everything traditional today, but I want to remind you that these beautiful little trees can be cut in any color and would look fabulous on any card. I took a piece of paper that I just cut roughly to fit on the inside to fortify this ornament, so it's only going to be the 2 layers. And this is a 110-pound scrap that I had laying around. And I'm just going to stick that up. I made sure that there was a point reaching up to the star to keep the neck of that part of the ornament nice and sturdy. I'm double checking to make sure everything's going to fit together well. And then I'm going to add some ATG to the back of it. But first, I'm going to get myself a little bit of twine or thread. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's some sort of faux raffia. It was in my card making stuff here in the US. I don't have my regular stash as I do in Canada, but you know, it's still fun to use what I've got and see what I can make. I'm also going to add some liquid glue, and since this is going to be on the outer edge and it's also going to be behind multiple layers, what I told you earlier about worrying about the foiled paper bubbling, this is going to help stop that from being so visible. But this is going to make this single layer or double layered ornament a lot more sturdy. So we're going to take this piece and stick it in place ahead of time, and I'm going to have it come right out the top of that star. And I'm adding a tiny little knot because we are going to fortify this one with a little dot of glue to make sure that it doesn't pull through from the top of the star. This is also going to help hold this all together. And if I was smart, I would have spread those 2 little tails apart because that also would have made them stronger. But alas, I think they're going to do as they are. So I match these up and I stick them together. And I'm going to give them a good push to make sure that it wraps around that extra piece of paper that I put in the center. It's a good idea to do that, especially when there is cut marks that go through your paper to show you where to put things for layering. You kind of want to give it that extra fortification. Now, I pulled out this oval layering die and the bird cage so I could get all these cool pieces to finish my card off. And I used a piece of paper from the paper pad, as well as the Merry Christmas sentiment that came from the stamp set in the kit. Season's greetings look pretty cool too. I put these on, of course, with a glue booger so I could pull it off and put it on my little tree. And I really think these elements really pulled this together and gave them a beautiful and unique style. I hope you enjoyed watching this video today. Thank you so much for joining me. And I do hope that you'll come back and check out some of the other things that I make with this card kit, because I certainly am having fun creating with it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.